What is up, cool kids? I'm Cool Trainer Gavin, and today we're going to be going through just a quick video. I originally filmed one, and as I was going to edit it, it ended up being like 25 minutes long, and I'm like, that's way too long for this kind of video. We're going through and just going to talk about what I think I want my team to look like for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now, as you can see on the screen, I have decided to go with Let's Go Pikachu. Mostly because I almost never use Pikachu to begin with. I know Pikachu is used for everything, everybody loves Pikachu, and honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of Pikachu, to be honest. But in my opinion, it is significantly better than Eevee, even with them both getting stat buffs, as I'm 99% sure that they are. Both are probably going to get roughly 130 base points of boost. At least the starter Pikachu and the starter Eevee. I don't think regular Pikachu and regular Eevee will be affected, but that's another whole video. But I'm just going to go through and talk about what I want my team to look like. So first of all, Pikachu. Now it is confirmed that you won't be able to evolve Pikachu, and since that's the case, I really hope TMs are a thing, because looking at Pikachu's level up moveset, it's pretty cheeks. You know, it gets a lot of electric type moves, but literally no coverage other than normal type moves like Slam and Faint, which are both, I mean, Slam isn't terrible, but it's 75% accurate, so not really great. TMs are not terrible. It gets some physical coverage with like Brick Break, some good coverage with Grass Knot. It gets Volt Switch, which I'm pretty sure you don't get by level up. No. A ton of egg moves, which obviously aren't a factor because it's a starter, but maybe they'll give it a little bit better TM learn ability. Is that a word? I don't know. As well as maybe some move tutor. You know, maybe they'll put a move tutor in somewhere in the game. But anyway, I think based solely on the fact that you can't evolve it, I want Pikachu over Eevee, just because Eevee, without being able to evolve, is pretty bad. It's not terrible, but like it's too well-rounded to be really good at anything, which is kind of the point of Eevee. But anyway, moving on. So first slot, Pikachu. Now second slot, you know, back before HMs were removed, I had a very set block of Pokemon that I wanted on my team for like my first playthrough of a game. And it was an electric type, fire, water, grass, psychic, and a flyer. So we have our electric type, check. So next up, I wanted to look at psychic types, because psychic type was pretty broken in Gen 1. There's quite a few pretty decent ones, but the one that I decided on first, and I changed my mind afterward, was Mr. Mime. And I decided on Mr. Mime because I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, because, you know, it's a fairy type now. I can, you know, it's one of the very few fairy types that are in Gen 1, so I was like, you know, two birds, one stone. I get to use a new typing that we've never seen in Kanto before, and knock out my psychic type. But unfortunately, there's, of course, a snag. When you look at Mr. Mime's moveset, not a psychic, lots of psychic, not a fairy type move to be found. It does not even learn Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam by level up. The only fairy type move it learns is Misty Terrain, which is not going to be useful whatsoever. So all fairy typing does is give us a weakness to Poison and Steel, which, I mean, there's only 2 Steel types in the game, but it's just the point that, you know, it's just not worth it. Plus, Mr. Mime's stats are pretty bad for, you know, for what it is. So I decided not to use Mr. Mime. And instead, I also considered Slowbro, but I don't really know where to get Slowpoke in Gen 1, to be honest, and I wanted to use my Water type for something else later. So I decided to go with Executor. I don't really know how they're going to do Safari Zone Pokemon, since Safari Zone has been confirmed to be the Go Park, where you transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Let's Go. So I don't know where they're going to put the Safari Zone Pokemon, but I hope we can get them relatively early. Because looking at Executor, it gets a pretty decent level up if you can level up moveset if you can evolve it relatively soon. 17 gets Psyshock, a really good move. Egg Bomb's not great, but Wood Hammer and Leaf Storm are both very good, considering Executor's moveset, or not moveset, wow, it's late and I'm tired. Stat spread. So its special attack is obviously much better, but its physical attack is nothing to scoff at either. You know, it's pretty slow, but it's also fairly bulky with 95, 85, 75 defenses. Not a bad Pokemon whatsoever, in my opinion. So that is my Grass and Psychic type knocked off the list. Next, we have Lapras. Now, hopefully they still give you Lapras the same way that they did in Gen 1 in Silphco. Maybe they buffed the level a little bit, because if I remember correctly, it was level 15 when you got it. And by then you should have like level 40s-ish in your party. But regardless, I'm going to use a Lapras anyway. Lapras is a really cool Pokemon. Very, very bulky. A pretty good level up moveset for what it is. Gets Confuse Ray, so good status. Gets Body Slam to spread some paralysis. Ice Beam, Brine, Hydro Pump, and Sheer Cold, which is always fun. I love my Oko moves. As well as a really, really good TM learn set in like Thunder and Thunderbolt, Psychic, Bulldoze, even Dream Eater. So Sing, Dream Eater, Lapras, that'd be kind of cool. And then looking at its stats, nothing crazy, but also nothing to like with Executor, nothing to scoff at either. Really bulky with 130, 80, 95 defenses, and can hit reasonably hard in like a, you know, Let's Play normal meta, with 85 in both attack stats. And when you're hitting with strong moves like Ice Beam, Blizzard, and Hydro Pump anyway, they're gonna do pretty good damage. So that is just Lapras taken care of, or our water type taken care of. So it's not the best water type around. I do think Slowbro is probably a better water type, to be honest, and I think probably the best water type in the game is probably Starmie, if I had to pick one. But I do really like Lapras. Plus Ice is a pretty rare typing in Gen 1. I think there's only 3 or 4 of them. So something pretty unique to have. So now for my Fire type to round out my Fire, Water, Grass core. I don't really know what to pick, because I'm not quite sure what they're doing for version exclusives. So here's just a list of all the Fire types in Gen 1. So obviously we have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Vulpix. Actually, I think they did confirm which ones are. Now that I'm actually talking about it, I think Vulpix and Growlithe are both confirmed version exclusives, although I don't remember which one. Either way, I've used Arcanine a lot, so I don't really want to use that. And I don't really like Ninetales all that much. I really like Vulpix, but its stats just aren't good enough to keep around for an entire game. So I'm not really feeling that one either. Ponyta evolves way too late. It evolves level 40 into Rapidash, which I think is still kind of ridiculous. And I still don't have an Alolan Marowak in Pokemon Go for me to transfer. Otherwise, I might consider it. So that narrows it down to Magmar or Flareon. And I don't really know which one, to be honest. It'll depend whether Magmar is version exclusive, because I think Magmar and Electabuzz are version exclusive. I just don't know which one is exclusive to which game. So if Magmar happens to be in Let's Go Pikachu, I'll probably pick Magmar. If it isn't, I'll pick Flareon. There we go. Magmar is pretty fast. It'll probably be the fastest Pokemon on my team. I take that back. We have some fast Pokemon coming later. But it hits fairly hard on either side, much like Lapras, with 95 and 100 for attack stats. Pretty frail overall, but still not a bad Pokemon. I've not used Magmar almost at all, ever, so I think it'll be pretty fun to use. And then Flareon, we all know what Flareon does. It hits really hard on either side, 130 attack, 95 special attack, and can take special hits pretty well, but can't do too much else. Luckily, in these games, it will get, you know, stab moves that can take advantage of its better attack stat, like Fire Fang and Flare Blitz. Unlike every other Gen 1 game where it's been stuck with Flamethrower and Ember, which don't take advantage of its really good 130 attack stat. So that's my Fire type. Now, for my Flyer, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if TMs are going to be a thing in this game. I don't think that they've said either way. But just in case, I decided I'll probably put Pidgeot on the team to begin with, but once this Pokemon becomes available, I'm swapping to Aerodactyl. And fun fact, I really hope you can ride on Aerodactyl, because it is, I think, a full foot taller than Charizard, or maybe not quite a foot, maybe around somewhere between a foot and a half a foot, I don't know. Anyway, it's bigger than Charizard, and we've seen people riding on Charizard, so that'd be really dope to just fly around on an Aerodactyl. It's really fast. It'll definitely be the fastest Pokemon on my team unless Pikachu gets a super buff in its speed. But 130 speed, 105 attack, so still hits pretty hard. But can't take too many hits with a 65 and 75 defenses. If Mega Evolution will be available in the game, which I kind of doubt, Mega Aerodactyl will be pretty fun to use as well. Pretty good level up moveset. It gets really good coverage if we can get, you know, move tutor like Heart Scale people. We get Iron Head, Ice, all three of the Fangs, as well as getting good stab by level up, including Wing Attack. It does get Sky Drop by level up, which I may or may not use, and then Rock Slide as well. But Aerodactyl is just a very good utility mon, one of my personal favorite Pokemon, and if you don't know, I'm actually a paleontologist, which is why I also love Lapras, because they're both based off of prehistoric extinct animals. So, fun fact. So lastly, oh, didn't want to go there yet. Lastly, because I combined my Psychic and Grass type together in Executor, that frees up a party slot. So I was kind of torn. I was looking at Pokemon that I haven't really used too much. So I got looking at, I wanted either a ground type or a normal type. So looking at normal types, there's a lot of them, but none of them are great. I said I was going to have Pidgeot on my team for a little bit, probably at the beginning to use as a flyer. Definitely not Rattata or Raticate. I don't really like Fearow and Spearow, so not them. I could pick Wigglytuff or Jigglypuff, words, for my Fairy type. That may or may not happen. There's a very small chance of that happening because there's two Pokemon that I like better. Not Meowth and Persian. I do love Farfetch'd, but no. Anyway, moving on. I really like Kangaskhan and Tauros. Both very iconic Gen 1 Pokemon. And Kangaskhan is actually fairly bulky and can hit pretty hard. So it's got really good HP stat, pretty decent defenses combined with the HP. And then a very good attack stat combined with a pretty good speed. So, again, and if Mega Evolution is in the game, Kangaskhan will be broken. So that's why I want Kangaskhan. And then Tauros, once again, another really iconic Gen 1 Pokemon. Again, you know, fairly bulky, especially with Intimidate, and then a good attack stat and a really good speed. So, can't really complain about either of those two. If I end up with either of them, I'm not going to complain, but it's in the same boat as Executor, where I don't know where Safari Zone will be. I don't know where they'll put Safari Zone Pokemon, so that's kind of up in the air. If for some reason they're not available until like super late game, I probably will default to Wigglytuff just because it is a fairy type and some diversity, you know. Lastly, for that slot, I'm considering a ground type. So looking at the ground types in Gen 1, I've used Nidoking and Nidoqueen all the time, so I don't really want to use them. I don't like Golem at all. Onix is bad. Marowak is not terrible with a thick club, but chances of me getting one of those are pretty bad. I've also used Rhydon a good amount as well. So that pretty much narrows it down to Sandslash or Dugtrio, and I would not be sad with either. Sandslash is pretty bulky, hits fairly hard with its good attack stat, and then Dugtrio hits quite hard with its and is very fast. So I will not be doing a Nuzlocke of this game, so the frail Pokemon don't really bother me, such as, you know, Aerodactyl and Dugtrio. They don't really bother me. I'll just kind of be playing it with whatever I happen to get. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what version you will be getting, whether you will be getting Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, and what your team might be looking like come November 16th. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please like and or subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch at CoolTrainerGav. And until next time, smile later.